Hello, I'm Lee Hawkins of the Wall Street Journal. After serving an 18-month prison sentence on dogfighting and conspiracy charges, Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Michael Vick appears to be back in the game. But off the field, he's fighting a different battle, trying to rebuild his image. I sat down with Michael Vick and we talked about a new endorsement deal that he signed with a company called Unequal Technologies. This was in Norfolk, Virginia, at a training facility operated by his manager. Here are some of the excerpts of that interview. Is there a point where you think the public should forgive you and move on? And the question is, Mike, what is that point? I mean, have we already surpassed that point? Is it sometime in the future? Or will you always be the guy who fought dogs, went to prison, and basically unforgivable?
Maybe, maybe not. I think, at some point, I think you let bygones be bygones. I think some people will never forget. Some people will. But that's just the reality of the situation that I created for myself. Not understanding and not knowing that when I was going through that period, those trials and tribulations, that I thought about what it would do to my legacy or what it would do to my image or my brand. But at the same time, I feel so confident in my fan base. I feel so confident in just walking around and being free. The feedback that I get on a day-to-day basis is unbelievable and it's incredible. And it gives me the confidence to keep my head up high and keep moving forward.
So from what I hear you saying, from all of the things that are written about you in the paper, you have a different perception because you're out there and anecdotally you're seeing a you're being received differently by the public.
And also because I don't read the news articles, I don't pay attention to it. The only time I will is if it's something that, is very cynical, is hard to digest.
You read the hardest stuff?
I read the hardest stuff because it motivates me. I spent the last summer just reading the articles and reading what people were writing about me, just so when I had the opportunity to feel I could prove them wrong. So I let my actions speak louder than my words in a sense.
So a lot of times when you could be at the lowest point of your life, that's actually the best motivation for you.
Yeah, sometimes when I'm at my lowest points, I'm the strongest.
What was the lowest point in your life?
Lowest point in my life was definitely being in prison. But every day I was in prison, I was confident and optimistic that one day I would get a letter, that somebody would do something to free me up. Somebody would come get me, the judge would release me. I get sent straight to house arrest. It never happened, but I always believed, so that's why I always had hope. And that's what got me through the time.
How long were you by yourself in a cell?
Well, I was locked down 23 hours a day. Locked down 23 hours a day, 1 hour to go out and walk around in the rec yard. And it was time that I spent dreaming and visualizing myself coming back doing great things and just praying for an opportunity. But I took that moment to reflect back on all the things that I didn't take advantage of and what I could do moving forward and try to be prosperous. I was in solitary confinement when I had nobody to talk to, when I had no phone, or when I couldn't write anybody when I was in prison. The only person I could talk to was God. All I could do was pray. And it strengthened our relationship. And it got me through.
Was it like that before, when you were on fire and you had millions of dollars and before bankruptcy, before your prison sentence? Were you a Christian man or were you a religious man?
I wasn't a Christian man. I'm not a Christian man now. It's just that my relationship with God.
Okay.
And my faith and just the personal relationship that I have is uncanny. And I can feel it and I know it. And I'm here for a reason. I'm in this position for a reason. And definitely going to take full advantage of it. Definitely going to help as many kids and the masses of people that I can. I give my kids what I couldn't have at certain times because of various reasons.
What is it that you couldn't have?
It's a lot of things you want as a kid. You want to be able to go out in the backyard and throw the football with your dad, or you want to spend quality time or go fishing or just go in the toy store. And some things you just can't do for various reasons. I think different elements dictate why certain things can't happen. But it's just something that I learned from. I think the maturation process for me never changed. And I'm great. I'm happy that I turned out to be the person that I am, and I wouldn't change anything about my life if I could.
You wouldn't change anything about your
I
life.
wouldn't change one thing.
If right now,
I would change the prison sentence.
If God
from
said
18 months to maybe 5 or 6 months, because I did deserve to go to prison for what I did, but I wouldn't change that.
you change it to 5 months. If God said right now, because you talk about your faith, Michael, I'm going to bless you with not having the dog fighting scandal, with not even having that happen. That you did it, but I'm not going to have this blow up. Would you take that?
No. And I only say that because and as crazy as this may sound, going to prison really changed my life. I was able to go in and come out with a plan. I was able to change as an individual, mature so much, learn so much. I had the opportunity to read. I had the opportunity to just sit down and get away from the world and think about things that I had to correct and advice that I didn't use correctly and how I could be successful moving forward, and I was able to do it. So I wouldn't change one thing about my life, and it's something that I think about every day. And I think because I handled it so well, I think that's why the Lord is going to continue to bless me.
You came back playing, you were on fire. Do you think that Unequal and EA Sports and these companies would be interested in you if you weren't playing well?
No. They wouldn't be interested in any athlete if he wasn't playing well. I think your play
You didn't take
speaks
long
for
to
itself.
answer that
Your
question.
play speaks for itself. I think your play speaks for itself. How you carry yourself, how you manage yourself, and just the belief and the optimism that you have as a person, as a player.
Did you come on the field basically knowing this is it? I mean, if I don't put up the numbers, my career's over, I'm done.
Well, I never put that type of pressure on myself to go out and perform well or be great that day. It just happens. And that's the way you have to be. You have to go out on the football field and just let it flow.
You had a $7 million windfall every year coming in from Nike and Coke and the different endorsements. Is this the endorsement that's going to get you back into the endorsement game?
Maybe so, hopefully. That's always the idea when you promote yourself or give yourself an opportunity to become a part of any brand or major company.
Will you be able to get to that point, or is your brand too
Who knows?
tarnished now to be able to do it?
Who knows? I put my faith in higher power. I put my faith in God. I know my fan base. I know that I can walk in a local 7-Eleven or I can walk in Target, and I'm gonna get a lot of praise from just as many people who might think that I'm the worst person in the world. So my fan base is of all demographics.
But this has got to be a conscious decision. You got your first major endorsement deal from Unequal, and this is a small company. It's not very well known, but certainly they've outfitted 30% of the NFL with the insoles for their shoes. Tell me about this company and why you went with them.
Well, Unequal is a company that is predicated amongst protecting players. And when I had my chest injury in the early 2010 season, they gave me an opportunity to wear their padding. Now, I was a bit skeptical about it at first because I didn't think it would work. But after rehab and coming back and playing for 3 games and not having any problems within my chest area and getting hit in that area at the same time, when I was on the field, it was like almost as if I had nothing on at all. You're getting hit by 300-pound guys, and it held up. I reached out to Unequal and asked them.
You reached out to them?
I reached out to Unequal.
And when you contacted Unequal, did you have a concern or a fear that they might say, hey, we don't want to associate with you?
Well, I had a fear that they would say no. You kind of feel like if it doesn't work out, then you failed, or I may have failed 100 or 200,000 kids. So I said to myself, why not reach out? Why not be proactive in the situation and do it for the kids who are going to follow me?
Are you concerned that potentially this will make kids want to play injured?
Well, this product it made me almost feel invincible once I started playing and I took a couple hits and got back up from it. So that's what you want to instill in the kids. You don't want them to go out and play hurt, because if you're hurt and you can't play. So I think you leave that up to the higher authorities to decide if you should be out there playing. But I think as a young kid, as a young man, it's important to have all the protective padding that you need to go out there and play in the game and have fun and not have to worry about, post-career injury or, being hurt in that one specific game.
And for the record, I did talk to Rob Vito, the CEO of the company, about that, asking him if kids would play injured and if he was concerned about that. And his answer was that kids are going to play injured anyway because they're very passionate about the game. So why don't they have the protection?
Right.
When you contacted the company, you actually asked for stock. This is not a cash transaction, but you received some stock in this company. Why was it important for you to ask for equity?
It was paramount for me to have ownership in the company because it's something that I'd never done before. I think it was great for my brand. It was great for myself. It was great for my family. And even though Unequal was a small company, I'm a very optimistic guy.
Now you're moving into potentially being on the cover of EA Sports.
Potentially on the front cover of EA Sports, which is a great
Madden 2012.
Madden 2012. Have an opportunity to be on the front cover of the game, and I've did it before. It's never been done twice, so another opportunity to make history. I'm doing it all the time.
What can we expect from Michael Vick in the next 2 or 3 years as a football player and a businessman? First of all, football player, what can we expect?
First and foremost, you can expect me to continue to be the great dad that I've been. You can expect me to be out in the field and be protected and play with confidence and play well. And 3 years from now, having a brand that signing athletes and guys becoming a part of my brand and being a part of Team Vick, V7.
Guys becoming a part of your brand, what does that mean?
Well, eventually I want to be able to sign guys to my brand, to let them be a part of my company, to be able to advertise them, working on the V7 clothing line, and let them be a part of that V7 shoe, Team Vick shoe, and just sign them to our company, let them promote our product, let them go out there and be able to play football freely. Hopefully Unequal can pick up a couple of those guys and be protected. And
so you're talking about potentially bringing in other young players and having a marketing company
Having a
yourself.
marketing company myself. Absolutely. I didn't want to say that, but that's the goal. That's what I'm working
LeBron
towards.
is doing.
What LeBron is doing. But it's what I want to do. And I think I have an opportunity to do that. I think it'll be great for players who are coming out of college. I think it'll be players who are currently playing in the NFL to sign to Team Vick.
This is really something that a lot of NFL players have trouble with, is that transition from playing to life, because the bankruptcy rate, I think I've read that 78% of the players are filing bankruptcy within 3 years of leaving the league. You filed while you were
while
in the league.
I was in the league, because of other reasons, but we won't talk about that.
But you're certainly concerned about your post-career.
Certainly concerned about my post-career, but at the same time, doing something that I think I'll enjoy doing. I enjoy, getting to mentor a young collegiate player about to go into the NFL, having them sign with my brand, showing them the ropes, putting them in V7 clothing, V7 shoes, and let them go out in the field and promote.
And V7 shoes, is that?
It's coming soon. They're coming soon.
And you don't have a Nike behind you.
No, I don't have Nike behind it. I can't disclose that right now, but at the same time, it's just something that we're talking about, working on, throwing around out there, and just trying to get the best feedback possible.
Okay.
But I know it'll be successful.
How important is it to start these businesses when you're playing, while you're on the field, while people know your brand?
I think it's important to do when you're young, when you're able to market yourself, and the legacy that you want to leave is going to be paramount, and it's going to play a factor. So I think you have to do as much brand building as you can when you're young, because certainly when you're older and you're not playing as well, there are going to be less contacts.
There are other celebrities that have been out there having big problems with the media, dealing with the media.
Right.
You actually came back strong,
Right.
and were able to start to rebuild your brand.
Right.
What do you say? What kind of advice do you give someone like a Chris Brown right now?
The advice that I would give to Chris Brown is, just put your faith in God. Don't worry about what people say about you. Words will never hurt you. The things that people can say out their mouth can cut you deep. And, sometimes your tongue can be sharper than a knife. But at the same time, you should never allow that to push you on, get you over the edge. You should have more self-control. You control your own destiny. You're still admired by so many people, and I think he just has to see that, and he'll be okay.
What about a Charlie Sheen?
Charlie Sheen's just gonna be Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen gonna be successful in whatever he do, and Chris Brown as well. Chris Brown is gonna be very successful. I think he just needs to let time heal everything.
You're a spokesman now for the Humane Society.
Right.
Is that your biggest cause?
It is my biggest cause right now, and I'm having a great time.
What kinds
working
of
with the Humane
things do you
Society.
do for the Humane Society?
Well, I'm very proactive. I go out and speak in different communities around the world, talk about eradicating dog fighting, and definitely became an advocate of dog fighting. And it's something that I want kids to stay away from. It's another opportunity to go out and teach our youth what's right and how to make good decisions and not use poor judgment, and not become a product of your environment. Let your environment become a product of you.
A lot of people would say this guy is just out here speaking to the Humane Society because he has to. Some
Right.
people, which is wrong, they say that it's part of your sentence was that you had to do that.
No, it
But-
wasn't.
So this is really sincere.
Yeah, I don't have to do anything I don't want to do. I could have took my chances of just trying to get back into the NFL, dealing with the crowd participation in the negative aspect, just tolerating everything. And I've done that before. I still walk with my head high, but I chose to do the right thing. Like I said, it's not about me. It's about our youth.
Do you still talk to any of the guys
I
from
still
back
keep
in
contact.
prison?
Yeah, I still keep in contact, but because we're felons, we can't have any type of interaction. So I kind of leave it alone. But it's tough.
Is there anybody back there that might get out that you feel that you can help?
I can't,
when
but
they
due to
do.
the fact that we're all felons, we gotta stay away from one another for a certain amount of time. So
Okay.
hopefully down the road, in the near future, I'll be able to create opportunities for those guys. And I already got some things in mind that I won't disclose right now, but it'll definitely give them an opportunity to go out and be successful, because I know how hard it is for felons when they're released from prison.
You were helping people though,
Yeah, I
before you got in trouble.
Yeah, but
That some people say that was your downfall, that
Yeah.
you had too many people hangers on
Yeah,
around
it
you.
was,
Is that a fair assessment or
that's
not?
a fair assessment. But, it was what it was. I grew up with a lot of guys when I was younger. We all went days when we didn't eat, days when we were struggling, and we all stuck together. So that was the concept we had coming.
Are any of these guys bitter now? I mean, did you have
Not
to
at
cut
all.
off any of your friends, or did you keep
No, I had
all
to-
of your friends?
We all are grown, 30, 31 years old, so everybody got families and had to go their own way.
But are you still friends with your friends from back then?
No.
You're not. You had to move on. You had to
Had to
find an
move on.
entirely different group of friends.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's gotta hurt you.
No, I don't, because I got a lot of friends. I got a lot of friends that care about me. I got friends that I played with in college that I still keep in close contact with that, make themselves accessible to come
But your
down and
friends
see me.
before,
So,
did they care about you, or is that they?
I don't know, and I won't get into that right now because it's not important. I don't think it's important to even talk about that. I think we all have moved on.
Are you happy?
I'm happy. Couldn't be happier. happy that my family life is on track, happy that I'm having the opportunity to sign with companies like Unequal and help build their brand as well as mine. And it's a great opportunity because it's a challenge. It's just like going out in the football field and trying to do things right.
Okay, Michael Vick, entrepreneur, is the next level for you, and we're going to continue to watch you as you go out to promote Unequal and try to pick up as well some other corporate endorsements on the business side.
Hopefully so. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Michael Vick.